Hey there, good morning again. Once again, we are back with our book, The House Witch. And this morning we are going to be looking at Chapter 3, Your Spiritual Hearth. Hearthcraft recognizes that your home is a sacred place, a place that has the power to refresh you, relax you, and rejuvenate you. But how precisely can you intentionally tap into this power? This chapter explores methods you can use to locate, bless, and work with your spiritual hearth in your home and in yourself. So she actually does a very good job of accomplishing all three of those goals in the chapter. Locating your spiritual hearth. She has some suggestions for that. Like you might assume like a fireplace would be a good spot for your hearth, or the kitchen. But I don't have a fireplace in my apartment. I'm not really a kitchen-y type person. And she recognizes that some people might not have either of those two things, so she makes other suggestions to just find like another spot in your house where that has emotional significance to you. And like for me, I thought about setting up something in my bedroom, but it's already the space is already being used by like my main altar for the three matron deities and the other altar for my wife. So I thought another good spot would be I have like this big china cabinet. It's like the one big piece of furniture that I took from my parents' house after they passed away and we sold the house. That's like the one big piece of furniture that I took away with it, and it actually works out pretty perfectly for what she's describing this book. And I'll take you along real quick to show you on with that. So this is the china cabinet here, and it works out really well because I had a spot reserved for like my books and tarot cards and oracle cards, and on top was some herbs and stuff like that. But then this bottom shelf here would be like a perfect little spot to set up with things of importance. Like she suggests adding things for ancestors on your ancestors. So you can see down there I have a photograph of me, my daughter, and my dad. And there's a little bowl that my daughter made in an art class, and up above is two of the crosses and the flags for my dad's and my mom's funeral. So this actually turns out to be a really good spot for me personally. So some of the other things that she mentions in the book is like once you get that set up, she does give you some rituals to kind of bless that. Blessing the hearth, that goes on for a couple pages. Nice little ritual. If you don't have a good spot to make a physical one, you can make a spiritual one in place of that, or you can also do both. And that was kind of a neat little thing, making your own little like spiritual hearth. And that's something that you can kind of like bring with you no matter where you are, kind of tap into that energy no matter where you're at. And so she has some suggestions for also accessing the energy of your spiritual hearth. If you prefer to alternate visualizations, instead of feeling the warmth of the hearth flame, visualize yourself absorbing the light the flame casts and absorb the energy that way. And you can do that with either a physical or a imaginary hearth. She gives some suggestions for using the energy of the spiritual hearth by adding a cauldron in there, or also if you're more of a water energy type person, you can use use a little cauldron of water instead. And of course incorporating our ancestors, which worked out good for me. You can place any little keepsakes in there, pictures, little articles of clothing, or anything that would bring to mind the love and inspiration and energy of your ancestors. And you can also use that space to make an offering to them as is convenient. If you want to do that monthly, on special anniversary days, their birthdays, the days that they passed, you can do that as well. So she had a lot of good ideas for working with that into your home and where to incorporate it. And once you do incorporate it, different little rituals and blessings for that. So I really like this chapter a lot. At first I was kind of stumped as to where I would fit that into my personal life, but I found a way to do it, and I think putting it in a china cabinet is going to work out pretty darn good. So I'm happy with that. So I'll see you later today when we go on to chapter 4.